All right, so doing some research on gun violence in the U.S. after the most recent shooting in Minneapolis, and I found this site. This is Brady United. This is their statistics page, and boy, do I have some problems with this. So I'm on here and I'm just scrolling through. Uh, Obviously, it's a leftist site, mostly BS. So I'll show you my thoughts on as I scroll down through this stuff. So I see these numbers. I'm like, okay, yeah, I could probably believe most of this stuff. I'm not gonna dig too deep to find out. Uh, Keep coming down here. I was like, oh, mass shootings only 1%. That sounds about right. Suicide is the vast majority. Homicides, yep. So and then a small percent of law enforcement and unintentional stuff. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Interesting way to say it. This pretty well known. So this is causing this, according to them. That's highly inaccurate, if you ask me. And I get down to this. I was thinking like this is a weird number to use. Americans say that they have had a family member fatally shot. 1 in 5 Americans say that. So this is interesting because like what level of family member? How deep you go in there? So I mean, one fatality could cause dozens or even 100 people to be in this group. So and it varies widely. So this is a weird way to put this. And then of course they're using this number to represent this over here, twice as likely to have it, and then they switch it to family member over to loved one. So the language here is just disingenuous. I mean, a loved one. Like nobody does statistics asking people about loved one. It's this, oh, a family member, and then they equate that over to a loved one just to make it sound a little worse. But yeah, so wherever they're getting this is why this number is the way it is. So this is where I started really getting irritated with this site because this is just ridiculous stuff that doesn't really say anything, just sounds good for their purposes. So I come down, didn't really look at any of this stuff. And then they're like, oh, in the past, we've done stuff with car safety and smoking stuff, and then they get into that, and today only 12%, of people smoke, and why is this? For one, is it just education? Like that's what I would guess. Like tell people, hey, this is gonna kill you. People do less of it. Um, this is about the same. I mean, seatbelts. This statistic is really misleading. The whole seatbelt thing really wasn't a thing in the 80s. I mean, I was born in 82 and grew up, and I mean, again, we would ride 5 deep in the back of an open pickup truck, into town and stuff, and nobody cared because there was no laws on it. So of course that this is going to go up, since then, pretty obvious. So this is a little skewed. This one, okay. I keep going. So now they want to do that kind of stuff with firearms, right? So here, let's see, kind of, yeah, no, this one I don't think I had much issue with this. This is pretty confirmable. Just straight up numbers. This I find a little interesting. That'll come up later. Hit a high because they make it sound like the exact opposite later, and I'll point that out. And that stuff down a little bit lower here is why I actually made this video. It gets a little crazy. So we're just going to keep going. We're doing the most to do all, to change stuff. So that seems high. And then of course it just goes by, what they consider a mass shooting. The problem is when you hear mass shooting, you think schools and churches and shopping malls, right? But the majority of these are a combination of deranged parents murdering their whole families and then themselves, and gang violence. So when you hear mass shooting, don't always just assume that people are talking about school shootings in churches and things like that. So they love to put this up because when people read this, that's what they think. Even though that's probably not even a third, I'm not sure exactly, but I'm not sure what this means. So here's where I started going, okay, they got a source link for each of these statistics, right? So once I got to this, I was like, okay, I need to see a source for this because it says 97% of voters want stronger background checks. I guarantee to the point of I would bet everything I own that in reality, this is bullshit. So I want to see the source. So I click source, right? I'm like, okay, right to a thing talking about Brady's, so same, probably, these people, Brady United, or whatever. And I'm like, okay, so if that's where they're getting this number from, and that's their source, when you open their source, I should be able to just do a Control F and then just type in 97 and nothing. It does not, 97 isn't anywhere on here. So why is this the source of that information? Oh, I saw some numbers here. I'm like, okay, that's just okay. Okay, injuries, yeah. Then you go a little further, and nothing and nothing. Hospitalizations, okay. Like, where's the source information? There's just links to other stuff now. So why is this page, this article, the source for this? So that irritated me. And then I was like, okay, well, let's find this. What 5% of dealers, are contributing to 90% of the firearms used in crime? So I clicked that. Guess where it goes? Same article. So I was like, okay, do my little Control F. And dealers, right? They call them dealers. DEAL. As soon as I hit L, nope, that word isn't in here. So why are we talking about firearms dealers and linking to a source that doesn't even have the word dealer in it? Am I missing something? Am I supposed to go through all this? And by the way, I actually get looking at it here. The link here is, so this one is bradyunited.org, and these ones are bradyunited.medium.com. So medium.com has a whole thing for Brady United posts. So yes, just literally, it might as well just be, directly made by these people. So anyway, why are these sources? And I haven't even clicked this one yet, but I guarantee it's okay. Did that actually go? Hang on. No, okay, so that's actually a different one. Wow, they used a. I haven't looked at any of these, see what they have to say, but that's actually a different source. But these two are both the same, and neither of them cover what these numbers are. I find that to be a problem. If you're going to state a source, I would imagine you should have an accurate source. So, anyway, here's the part that made me start laughing because I don't necessarily doubt these statistics. I haven't looked these up. and that's fine. But it's talking about how today 31% of Americans live under assault weapons bans, whatever that means. A decade ago, that same number was 19%. So saying we have more banned assault weapons, right? Great. So then today, 64% of Americans live in states with safe storage laws, right? So a decade ago, it was only 46. So almost a 50% increase. Right. So great. Today, 49% of Americans live in states with ERPO, which is like red flag laws. And a decade ago, that same number was only 3%. Like, wow, that's a huge difference, right? So they're saying, like, hey, we're making an impact, and these things show that. So I was like, oh, in that case, in the last decade, if they're making an impact on all these areas over the last decade, what would you expect gun violence to do? Well, obviously, if these are all great statistics over the last decade, it should have gone down. So I just jump over to Google, do a gun violence over the last decade. Here's exactly what the first line says. Over the last decade, roughly 2014 to 2024, there has been a sharp increase in firearm-related deaths and injuries. How is that possible if all these are good things? Wouldn't it suggest that the opposite is true? That these things are actually causing it to go up? Because it's gone up sharply, according to Google. So what are they bragging about? What impact are they having if it's going up sharply? Anyway, that's about the gist of it. If you want to come and look at the BS on this site, yeah, like I said, it's the bradyunited.org /resources/statistics section. Probably in here. I got linked straight to this page, so I don't know how to navigate to it. But yeah, I just want to make this video to show how ridiculous some of this stuff is. I'm trying to keep some of my opinions about the political side of it and why they're doing this kind of thing out of it. I have plenty of opinions on that, but that's not really relevant. I just wanted to show how ridiculous this site is and all their numbers and fake references and sources. So that's it. Thanks.